without equipping you for the task. That is why it is so important to seek my will in everything you do. There are many burned out Christians who think more is always better, who deem it unspiritual to say no. In order to know my will, you must spend time with me, enjoying my presence. This is not a task, but a delightful privilege. I will show you the path in life, of life. In my presence is fullness of joy. At my right hand, there are pleasures forevermore. Now, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
This message can be found in Psalms 141, 8, Isaiah 48, 17, and Psalm 16, 11. I'm going to have to read that again when I get to myself. I love that.
Oh, yes. And we're going to talk later, and you could read it to me again.
Absolutely, a wonderful reminder.
Yeah, one-on-one. So, okay, thank you for igniting our spirit this morning, and we're going to get on with the show. So,
yes.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, it's always an honor for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's a pleasure hearing the prayer on a Friday morning to ignite our spirit.
Absolutely, sweetie.
So we thank you for all that you do, and we're going to keep in touch with you later on. Stay blessed and keep cool.
Steady blessings, sweetie.
All right. Thank you, babe. Well, y'all heard it from the prayer warrior. She ignited our spirit this morning. We're having a little technical difficulties. We might not be streaming live on AOC
It's a
this
blank
morning.
screen right now. But we're on social media live.
But we're on social media live, and that's just as good because more people be on social media than they be on, I call it the one-hour monster. And that's their TV, But they got a lot of people that I know looks at it on TV on Friday morning. And with all of that, Brother J, you want to give the disclaimer?
Yes, the views expressed on this show are those of the guests and the hosts and the callers, and are not necessarily of AOC community media staff or management. Brother Wallace. And also, we're recording this show.
Okay, so you might not see it right now, but you'll see it later on. And with that, I want to introduce my wonderful niece, entrepreneur, a go-getter, and she's having a wonderful function this weekend. That's tomorrow evening. And with that, I'm going to open up the mic for her to explain herself and what's going on. Good morning, Darlene.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to have
Same
you, baby.
here. Much love.
You much love.
Yeah.
So, Darlene, I'm opening up the mic to you so you could give your name, what you're all about. You're a great entrepreneur, because I wish I had the spunk of a niece like she have, and with that,
Well, I'm Darlene Senegal. Hello to everybody, my people. I have this weekend, which is Saturday, the 10th, at Brown Park. I have the LGBT all white party. It's just the new generation that we're dealing with. We have to open up the doors, respect everybody, and show everybody that everybody is somebody and everybody is important. I'll have Missy C there. I have M-Boy that'll be there. And just a whole bunch of, young people that needs to come together and just love on each other. I'm inviting all race, everybody that's running for councilman, or for anything that you're running for in this area. I'm inviting you to come out with your cards, meet and greet these youngsters. It's a new generation of voters. LGBT carry a lot of weight here. And that's what we're trying to, pull those youngsters in, let them know they're important.
Yes, because I always say every vote counts. And y'all got to remember, we're going to have a big election coming up. Governor, district attorneys, lieutenant governors, representative, council, school board. So let's make sure that we are ready to deal with what we have to deal with in this election. We may not like the process, and I keep saying it over and over again. I almost sound like I want to be redundant. But if we don't participate in the process is not going to work for us. We could make it work for us if we get away from the rigmarole that's been going on with elections and stuff like this here. You know, the Republican Party trying to gerrymander, take our voting rights away from us, and this is not good for us. And Darlene, what gave you the idea to do a function with the LGBT community?
Well, Uncle Wallace, let me go back to this a little bit, and I'm gonna try to keep it just brief. I was in Houston and noticed a whole bunch of people sleeping under a bridge, but it was a lot of young people, And then, you know, they were in the store, and you know, there's a lot of parents that turned away.
Can't get nobody.
You know, it's a lot of parents that turned away from their kids because they're ashamed. They came out as far as with LGBT in the community, but today you have to love your children. You know, it's yours. No matter what your child do, you have to be behind your child 100%. And that's how today we're losing a lot of kids to the streets. You know, sit down to the table. Don't wait for a higher authority to go ahead and coach your child or lead your child. Sit down to the table. Put the cell phones down, like we was just talking about. Get with your child one-on-one. And this is what this is really about. To let everybody know they're important. I don't care what you is, what you're doing, what you have.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Well, like we was talking earlier, I'm very proud of my niece, my great niece. You understand me, in cosmetology, you know, that she's doing. She's doing a wonderful job. I haven't seen none of the work that she's done, but I got to believe it's good because I'm hearing good things about it. No, nothing negative. So all of this is good, and you did a job raising her. You know,
and another thing I'm gonna leave y'all with this morning is, college is not made for everybody. Out here we have a lot of people that's, you know, just following the trend, want to do everything everybody else do. College is not made for all children, and I'm speaking from my home. I wanted my daughter to go to college, and I listened to how this went. She went, but I told her don't get in debt for all kind of stuff. That way she wouldn't be able to get in because she didn't owe too much. She finished with cosmetologist, finished with esthetician. She had 5 different licenses and everything under her belt. Here I get an email, my child done registered for nursing. Units. She went back. So like, I'm proud of it. Very proud of it. And you have to let children find their self. We live through our children. Let these kids be their self, but support them 100% if they're doing the right thing.
One thing I can say, you have supported your kids and all that they want to do. You got even one training for boxing.
Yeah.
That's pop.
Yes,
you know?
yes. So try to keep that humble. But, you know, another one, he could hold the line down, and not to brag on mine, he could hold 3 people down on the line, football. That's not what he want to do. Right now, it's boxing. He loves boxing. And we didn't put him there for boxing. We put him there for training as far as weight loss and things like that. Took a whole nother, he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You know, and like I say, you even have a business here in Lafayette, cosmetology business.
Yeah, she has the shop, and that's going well. We'll be hiring barbers soon, so I'll probably be back on here, you know, talking about that and addressing that. With that, we have a lot of colleges that's here. Like I'm telling people, get something hands-on. College is not for everybody, but get something hands-on. I love my Mexican people because they do work for me. I've met a lot of Mexicans. They come in my business a lot.
Yeah.
But like I tell people, education right now It's very, very important.
Yeah.
That's what we like it.
Yeah.
Open up a book, read.
Yeah.
You know?
And I always say, I used to tell my granddaughter, you know, the more you read, the more you know, the more you grow. And this is what it's all about, you know, reading. We was watching a documentary on TV the other day, and I used to try to tell my family, everything don't go in the refrigerator. And this, you know, wouldn't pay me no attention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the documentary came on, I stopped it. I said, let's put that right there. And then he talked about, I didn't know all those things wasn't supposed to go in the refrigerator. I said, yeah, you knew because I told you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you that peanut butter do not go in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Mustard, you know, do not go in the refrigerator. Ketchup. And if you go to a restaurant, a lot of times, all this stuff is on the table. You know what I mean? They don't put that in and out of the refrigerator. And when I got ready to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich the other day, I said, nah, look what I have to do. I have to put it on a plate, warm it up so I can spread it on the bread, you know? So a lot of things that technology done brought us to now, we didn't have that technology in the past.
Bless.
You know, I got a birthday coming up this month. A week before and a week after, I'm gonna celebrate, you know. All these things, when I was coming up, I didn't have the opportunity to be on a phone. When I was coming up, if you told me I'd have been walking around with a cell phone in my pocket, or communication in my pocket, I would have told you it was crazy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was coming up, we couldn't have a calculator in school. You had to have it in your head. You know,
Yes.
I tell some of the fellas, I say, man, when I was young and going to school, if I was riding on the bus and I seen a girl, hey, let me have your number, she would holler it out to me, I had it.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, you tell me a number, you gotta tell it to me 2 or 3 times so I can put it in my phone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? My son asked me one day, Dad, how you add numbers in your head? I said, you always gotta take it to the nearest 10. You know, I was in Atlanta. I stayed in Atlanta about a year. And everywhere I went in Atlanta that served food, they always had $4.99 lunch special,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And people don't understand that here, you know? Round it off to the nearest 10.
Yeah.
You know, that $4.99, that penny that you don't have up there, that penny gonna bring you $1 or $2, you know? So you got to understand how to really make a lot of things work,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I'm hate that we're not screaming live on AOC right now. Right?
That's okay.
Beyond my control.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
New management, new things change.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're under new management
But
right
math and reading is the treasure box.
now.
You know, I was and this is why I'm so much on this election right now. As far as when they keep hearing me say it's about our children. I spoke on something the other day on Facebook, and they called me and told me I had 10,700 views.
Mm-hmm.
It's about our children.
Right.
No matter what it is, if we don't get that contained and get that together and on the right page, we lost out here.
Yeah.
You know, I was very satisfied the other day and very happy and ecstatic when they said about a public library
Mm-hmm.
on that north side of town. My thing is, the reason that I really, really want to see that on Louisiana Avenue, a child could get on their bike with their parents and ride there. You know, to go ahead and get a book, read a book. And that's a convenient for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because not everybody could afford going on the south side of town or in Scott and, you know, or
Right.
feel at home.
Mhm.
Public library right there, we call it in our hood, that's treasure. That's a gold mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I understand about the library, but right now, our cell phone is everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And what's more important to me than a library, and I'm not trying to take the
Mhm.
library away, is a major hospital,
Mm-hmm.
north of I-10 with emergency access.
Yeah, we need all that.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you ride around on the north side, you've seen all these subdivisions coming up from north side to Carroll Crow, surrounding areas. And during traffic hours, when you call an ambulance, you're on borrowed time. Yeah, you're on borrowed time.
You're exactly right.
And then you got to get on the other end of town with traffic and stuff like this here. So I think a major hospital, north of I-10, west of Louisiana Avenue and east of University would be a perfect spot.
Perfect.
For a parish-wide hospital, and that's what I would love to see things happen in that area, but, and like I said, nothing wrong with the library, nothing wrong with the library, but we can have both of them,
We need several things on this side of town. We need several things on this side of town. We need several things.
Yeah.
That would benefit us.
Yeah.
I passed out the cards, the push cards. And I'm somebody, it'll take me like 2 hours just to pass the cards out to different stores. And and it'll take me like 2 hours to, to just come around and pass out cards to all the stores. And that night that I passed out the push cards for the LGBT party, I came back home discouraged, aggravated, because it wasn't a black store that I went in to put push cards.
Right.
Everything is owned, and I don't have nothing against them, okay? By another race.
Right.
They own every corner store, every corner store. And like I said, they support me as far as letting me put flyers there, or if I walk in there and say that I'm doing something for the children or whatever, or if I'm selling po' boys, I'm more than welcome to stand there and sell po' boys on their property. But it's time that we start owning us.
Well, when I was coming up, Darlene, we was sort of like an invisible line cage. We had a certain area we had to be in. We had a lot of black stores. People was doing real good for participating in the black community, and all of a sudden it started going away. We had black gas stations. We had a lot of things. We had grocery stores. We didn't have large department stores, but we had stores in our community where we could go to. And they had a couple of white people had stores too, but they didn't discriminate against us because they knew we had to go in their store and buy with them, and people was a whole lot stronger back in the days than they are now. For some reason or another, we lost vision on where we was going.
And we have to support us.
Yeah.
We all need to start supporting us because we're not supporting us enough.
No. But we always find an excuse not to support us, and you could go to other places and they're gonna treat you bad, but you don't never really talk about it like they talk about us. I love supporting my people, a lot of my people don't support me in what I'm doing, which it don't make me no different. All I want to know is I could do it, As long as I could do it, I'm good. I found out why the haters hate me. Guess why? Because they find out God loved me.
Right.
And I have a loving God, and apparently I don't know your religion, never been to church with you, never seen you go to church or anything like this here, but you have to be somewhat spiritual in order to keep going forward. They got a lot of things that's going on right now with our kids, our schools, our neighborhood. Things that need to be said don't never be said. That's just like in the mornings, I like to ride, I get up in the morning, I seen all these Go Place and Go Cups on the road and stuff like this here, that is hardening, you know, to see how people trash their community, you know. What reason we have to do that? None. I just cleaned out my truck after 6 months. All the garbage that I had in it, not to throw it on the street, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'll be behind people and I wish I could take their license plate down and have someone to go to their house and say, hey, you got some trash at such a place, you need to go and pick up, you know. That's gonna stop people.
You know, and back about with the trash, you know, I wanna commend Josh Edward. Josh cleaned up that whole graveyard and got his people, you know, in there doing a lot of stuff for the community. But and that's something that he don't have to do. But he lives in that area. You know, I'm from that area. I'm from the Truman area. Got his people together from Joy Court and everything else, and they came in there. Got that all cleaned up. You know, on a Saturday, taking time out of his visit time. Him and his wife, and you know, I just want to commend him for all the work that he do in the community. He's trying to make that area a historical area. He invited me to a meeting over here at this building. We got on the city bus 8:30, 9 o'clock at night with a whole lot of important people and went through the neighborhood. You know, it's time that everybody just come together. We have big churches on every corner in every neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like I said, and it's not to knock nobody's church, none of that. Come down from that pulpit and let's get this together. Let's get it together for the youngsters. You know, as soon as somebody passes away, it's a shooting or whatever it is in the community, we passing that coffin through that church or somebody's preaching. But we shouldn't have to wait until something happens to make something else happen. I'm tired of the visuals. You have a whole heap of people from every neighborhood come out when a youngster get killed or die with a balloon. That's not the educational part. That's not the educational part. We have to step up and do this before. If we got to have these meetings every month, once a month, but bring your child to see what it's really like. I said, and the only way, and we ain't going to get on that subject, but the only way they're going to stop, as far as, in my eyes, the killing, when a child do something, handcuff that child, and before that funeral starts, let that child get to that funeral home and see that body in that coffin, what you done. You know, not gonna put a word for somebody else. This is a whole new generation that's out here.
Now, I got a question as a director. Brother J.D., y'all listening to me, Mike's picking it up. Now you're seeing shootings and killings at funerals. That is a problem when you get into that point when you're having the killings at the funeral.
At the funerals.
People taking revenge. Or I even saw this story, and it's a wild story, but it's an example that the funeral home director doing a procedure at a funeral, he got in a beef with another funeral home director and shot and killed one of the pallbearers trying to shoot at the other funeral director, fighting over the body of a young lady, 10 years old, who got killed by senseless violence. So violence begins violence. You know, and then thank you for bringing that up.
Oh yeah, and what else we have? Like, I follow a lot of other states, Detroit, and you know, Chicago, Detroit, California. When you see stuff happening in these other big states, people thinking that, I call him Lucifer, and that's the devil. It's not going to knock at your door. When you see stuff happening in other states and other towns, that's twinkling down little bit by things are happening in New Orleans right now that's unreal. We're 2 hours away. It done started already bad in Baton Rouge. We're 45 minutes away. So what you think is next for us? You know? Because we can't do, once they cross that line or that bridge, we can't do scan checks on everybody. So we have people from everywhere right now that's coming from everywhere. Today you got to know your neighbor. You know, you got to know your surroundings. You have people here illegal. You know, I don't know. It makes me feel like everything is just wild, that you have to bring your children to the table today, one-on-one, and educate your children. It starts at home.
Stop celebrating a T-shirt. It's good. We understand, we agree, but everything is a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We move on to the next T-shirt and the next balloon release.
And the balloon release. No, you know, and like I said, I take that very serious because that's somebody's child. You know, and you always got to put yourself in somebody else's shoes because that could be your child. And I'm gonna be very honest, I don't even know how I would handle it. You know, and I look at other people that's strong with it. I don't think it would go down like that for me. So, you know, and everybody's child, if I see somebody's child, that don't even have to be related to me, my child, nothing. I walks up to the young man and I tell him, pick your pants up. I say, that's what they expect from us. And then all the child says, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, I apologize. Sometimes these children just need to hear it from a stranger. Yeah. And I say this all the time. I tell that to people about my child, my son. They'll listen to a stranger before they listen to the parent. Yeah. We take our son every year to Angola. Every year. I don't go for the rodeo. Rodeo can't do nothing for me. I go to an older gentleman that been there since he was 17 years old, and now he been there maybe 50 years. I buy a belt, a wallet, and I tell him, I say, I must respect your hustle. And now this is with my son. His dad is in the house every night with us at Angola when we go visit. So he's grown up with a dad. And I have my husband just pushed to the side. And I have that gentleman at Angola. I asked him, I said, just tell my son what he needs to do not to get here. You know, and he's on point, listening to the man, you know?
Let's actually reintroduce herself now that we have
we're talking to Darlene Senegal Gotts. She, when we first opened the show, she acted like she forgot she was a Gotts. I can say that, man. I can say that. You know, but she's here this morning, and we're talking about the GL.
The LGBT for tomorrow, the party.
Yeah, tomorrow party at Browns Park. And she has been doing a wonderful job, you know, on promoting what she's promoting. I call her entrepreneur, you know, because she's always been pushing for things to better her community, to better herself, to better her family, and love her for that, you know. And I want her to reintroduce herself now that she's back on the air now, you know.
But we have
technical difficulties.
We had some technical difficulties. And after she do that, I want to come back because we was talking about the violence, the crime that's going on in our community. And one of the things, before I forget this, one of the things that I feel families need to learn how to do is love. You know, love your neighbor. You know, we've been talking about that. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your kids better than you love yourself. You know, material things don't present love. All it does is present material things to make the kids think you love them. Hug your kids at least 3 times a week. You know, make sure that they listening to you. You know, hear what they have to say also. And I know a lot of times kids might say something that you don't want to hear, but if you listen to them, and then after you listen to them, you weigh out what they said to you, and then you know how to deal with it. But if you're mad and you're not dealing with it, it's wrong. So Darlene, start it all over again.
I'm Darlene Senegal Gotcha, like he said. I still carry my Senegal last name because
that's a powerful name.
It's a powerful name. It reminds me where I come from, okay, and where I'm going.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm glad to be here. Wonderful feeling. We get to touch on a whole lot of stuff. We done spoke on a lot of things. And like I said, today with election and everything else, it's about our kids. I'm inviting everybody that's running for somebody, running for a spot, running for a seat to this LGBT party tomorrow. Bring your cards, your campaign cards. I don't mind. At 12, I'm going to make an announcement. It's a secret, so make sure you're there. You don't even have to wear white, and you don't have to pay to get in. I'm letting you in. Your card, your face is going to be on your card, so my daughter will know exactly who you are, and we welcome you. You know, safe environment. And like I said, right now, that LGBT carries a lot of weight here as far as voting. The youngsters, they have a lot of new young people that needs direction, but they could vote. And let's put somebody that's in that seat that we need in that seat. That's for our kids, our grandkids. I don't have grandkids yet, but right now I'm not going to be here forever. I'm thinking about that next generation that have to carry that Senegal and that Gotch last name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't want it to be where, oh, they nothing but killers. Oh, they this. No, education. I don't know when my grandchildren gonna be running for that same seat that you're running for.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So we always gotta look at it that way.
You know, and like I say, I commend you because you're not showing prejudice, dislike, or anything like this here towards anyone. You know, and that's what an entrepreneur is really all about. You got to be everybody, just like putting a gumbo together, you know. Some people want this sausage, some people want this chicken and sausage, you know, shrimp, crab. And some people don't want none of that in their gumbo. You know, I know a girl back in California didn't like all the stuff in the gumbo, so she just made the roux and used it as a gumbo. I said,
everybody got their own flavor, you know, their own taste and stuff, you know. And like I said, we have a lot of people here, different cultures. You have some people that still stuck the old way, but it's time to, you know, move on to that, move away from that, because this is a whole new generation. I'm seeing stuff, you know, I used to sit there and hear my grandmother say all the time, we're going to see stuff in my father-in-law, Mr. Truman. You're going to see stuff in life that you never did see. See it now. You know, the importance of everything. Another thing I don't want to forget, I want all my people to stop as of Monday. Get a life insurance policy. That's very, very important. I preach that all the time on the internet. Get a life insurance policy. I don't care if it's $10,000. I don't care if it's $15,000. It's not like you have to have a $50,000 policy. You know your children in the street. You know your children doing something. The GoFundMe account, people not doing that no more. You know, I look at people, and it's not to downgrade my people. You have 50 people, 100 people at a balloon release. You have everybody wearing T-shirts, and it's not to knock none of that, y'all. But then this person laying here, y'all don't even know how y'all gonna bury this person because this person don't have a life insurance policy. And then working people, y'all expect them to get out there and up money or buy poor boys, whatever the case is.
At $20 a pop.
You know, no, that don't work like that. And it's called responsibility. You know, it's called responsibility today. You know, and I remember an insurance person coming at our residence every month, marking the little book. They still do that. Yeah. But get you an insurance policy. That's very, very important, my people. Well, very important.
They're not marking it in the little book no more.
I still do it in the book. I still have them come in the book.
And one of the things you said about the group that you're promoting, whether some of us are not down with it or don't want to ignore it, you can't ignore them because they are not only a sizable voting bloc. If they get together and organize, and sometimes they've been organizing across the country, they also some main consumers of a lot of the new products that come in. So that's what you got to look: consumers and voting bloc.
And people that work. That's people that work. Yeah. I done met the most intelligent people, LGBT. I done met people that's really out there doing it, owning their own products, like he said, doing the thing. We have some of these LGBT people do makeup where they're actually traveling with celebrities. Hair, I mean, making top of the line dollars. You know, and that's people, like I said, everybody is somebody. I tell people this, do you. When you love yourself, you can move a mountain when you love yourself. You know, stop trying to satisfy everybody out here and, you know, make everybody else happy.
Okay, we got a call coming in. Good morning, caller. How you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. Having a good show like y'all have every Friday.
Sorry we came on late, but we're going through some new things right now.
New management.
We're on the new management.
All right. I just want to encourage you guests that keep up the good work. And
that's my daddy.
Everything's good.
Okay.
Don't call him out. He don't like that. Don't call him out. He gonna get mad at Brother Jay.
I want it to be a secret.
Okay. Yeah.
Love you and thank you.
But that's my daughter. She mentioned it. That's my daughter. I'm proud of her.
Thank you.
I like what she's doing. And she's doing big things, and I hope everybody back her up and stand behind her.
It means a lot.
Yeah, well, I remember one time I said, beep, beep, beep. She said, no, you better do that to Jerome. That's my dad, you know. So Hey, anything else you want to tell her why she's on the phone?
She hit the right brakes, right keys, whatever, with the kids and the party she's giving. I'm glad. I know people in the community will be glad that you're giving something like that. And I can tell you that I know of, you're going to be the first to do that because they need love. It's to show that they belong in the community. With the Republican Party trying to kill the library, and they got a guy going to court right now. He says he don't trust the court. So he's bringing him a lawyer because he's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, things that's going on, you hit on point. Love y'all.
Wait, before you get off, what you think about having a major hospital with emergency access on the north side of town?
You know I'm 100% for that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just see if we can get it to jail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I look at it like this here. They went out and got people to put money in the jail to build it, you know, and then once it get built, they're gonna lease it back to the parish, you know. So if they could find investors to invest in a jail, they should be able to find people to invest in a major hospital here, you know, because like I say, we're not getting younger, we're getting older. And a lot of young people is going to the hospital too. So a major hospital on the north side of town, that would be wonderful. Now you could say the politician is doing something for us, you know, because right now, you know, we're at a standstill, you know.
Exactly.
So appreciate the call if that's it.
Love you,
Okay,
Daddy.
love y'all guys.
Okay, love you.
Keep up the good work.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you. Mhm.
Bye-bye.
So, Darlene, you know, I found out about love when I was in my early 30s, you know, and I read the book of 1 Corinthians, you know, chapter 13. And I just didn't read verses. I read the whole chapter, you know, and at the end it says, faith, hope, and love. Out of the three, the greatest is love. And after I read the whole chapter and got down to the end, I had to start all over again and read it again to make sure that I understand it. But I read it in an Amplified Bible. And Joyce Myers talk about the Amplified Bible all the time. And if you read it out of Amplified Bible, it says love. If you read it out of other Bible, it says charity. And charity and love is two different things. So when I start understanding what love really means, this is how I have love in my heart. And I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have none of all those hateful disease. You know, when you hate, it brings your body down, you know.
Okay, well, it's meaning that you're bringing that up. I'm 56 years old, and I tell this to people.
Get out of here, girl.
I'm made 56 last month, yeah. I don't take a high blood pressure pill.
Me neither.
Take my aspirin every now and then. Yeah. But when you're stressed and you live above your means, my joy is getting up in the morning, going in Hammond Park or one of the parks, just meditating, finding myself, and I shoot out to either Goodwill or Humane Habitat. I love the secondhand stores. If you're worried about just your household and get your household together first and your kids and your husband or whatever relationship you're in first and make that TP, I call that happy, you could do other things and like I said, move mountains. But when you worry about all this other stuff and keeping that high level and being, you know, with the Joneses, you have 9 bottles of medicine that you'll be taking. It may be helping one thing, but it's hurting another thing. You know, and it's okay to eat an egg sandwich at night. It's okay to eat a peanut butter sandwich at night. But right now, it's time to, then I tell people that we just coming out of something major, this COVID. Who would have ever thought that things would have shut down the way it did? Right now, people trying to catch up. We all struggling out here. It's nobody doing better than nobody. Now that's on you if you go, live above your mean and then you gotta go ahead and eat scraps. But I'm not doing it. It's called maintaining. You gotta know today how to maintain. And people think that you could just buy and just give your children. No, it's okay to give your children. I give my children the world, but it's called respect, and you have to be doing the right thing. I spoke on this, and it's not to downplay my people. Don't get this wrong on here. I spoke on this the other day. That was about the 10,000 views, where I tell people, I say, the kids do stuff. Right now, you have to have $10,000 to sit in an attorney's office, okay? Yeah. And that's just the tip of it. Our kids do stuff, and like I said, it's never to knock nobody's child, because I never know what road mine's gonna go down. And here the parents find, some of these parents don't even own a home, a house, nothing, okay? And here these parents finding $20,000, $30,000 to bond these children out of jail. We can't keep doing that. We cannot keep doing that,
Well, I got a dry throat. Excuse me, y'all. I just got a little dry throat. When I was coming up, my parents used to tell me, you get in trouble, but if you get in trouble, you better get yourself out, because we're not coming, And I remember one time I called myself setting myself up to run away from home. When my daddy told me to take everything that belonged to you, because you can't come back and get it, I changed my mind on that. Oh yeah. And I used to, sometimes I make a joke out of it. Your dad and I, we joke about it. Say, man, Daddy and Mama would have been in jail when we was coming up. You know what I mean? But
no water. The director going to start bringing the water.
But we talk about it all the time. If Mom and Daddy came up under the rules that they have some of these parents right now, they would have been in jail.
Yeah, and like I said, because that extension cord used to be something else. But I tell this to people. I mentioned that the other day. I appreciate them extension cords back in the days, because it made me what I am today. But today, that's a whole new generation with these kids. And I try to tell parents, what you have to do, take these cell phones. Stop being scared of your children. Take these cell phones. Take things that they love, the games. Just pull stuff back, and let them know why you did it. It's not about whipping your child and getting no charge and this and that, but stop being scared of your children. My door lock at a certain time, that in and out. And today you have to give your children wrong. I just mentioned that on the internet the other day. You have to give your children wrong. Stop going to these schools, arguing with these teachers, just making a big scene. Get the teacher's cell phone number. Find out what's the problem. What we gotta remember is, and I said that the other day, these teachers are human. They have problems at home just like we have problems at our home. That teacher might be having a bad night or bad day with her husband or her children. And then, not in the mood that day. But we have to come together and see what's the solution. Find the solution, what's the problem as far as with the student. Because we're losing too many children. At one time you'd pass by the bus stop in the morning, nothing but children getting on the bus. Now you see the bus picking up 2 and 3 children. We losing somewhere. We losing somewhere. And like I said, this is why I'm so much, on it for Josh. Because it's about our children. And you have to put somebody in that seat that could speak about our children, that have our children in mind as far as the future. And that's what it's about right now,
Yeah. Well, Darlene, I know when we talked earlier and you came to the show, you had to leave about a quarter.
No, I'm fine. I'm not even in a rush.
Okay, good.
You're good. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you back for anything, because that would be selfish of me.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
And like I said, I love what you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing. I can't support you in everything, and when I say support, I can't financially support you in everything, but
I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, but I support you in everything.
And one thing I tell you that I'm gonna say, while we're here and I got you here, one thing that I'm gonna say, anytime that I call you, and I'm gonna speak about that next week after this event is over, when I call that number, it's not like I have to call you. You answer on the first ring. And that means a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what the problem is. You know exactly who to go by. And what I respect about you as far as, and I love as far as the last name and my uncle, you make one phone call, you have a lot of respect. And that goes a long way. And I tell people that. But when you respect people, people respect you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be driving a Maserati outside, a tailor-made suit.
No.
It's none of that. It's about respect today. And I try to tell this to these youngsters. You know, people thinking is you have to have all this money. They have people that have money that people just don't care nothing about. I'll pass on you like nothing. No.
Well, I love to wear t-shirts and jeans, you know.
That's you know.
I drive a little rust bucket truck, but I'm proud of my little truck, you know. It was your dad's truck at one time. I'm proud of it. I just didn't have the means to take care of it like I would love to.
We call it the history truck. The truck got history. That's the history truck. Yeah.
Everybody know it's a campaign truck. You know, I was supposed to get up this morning and put me an early voting sign behind us. You know, I've been doing early voting for many years. I remember I asked your daddy one time. I said, "Bro," I said, "Why don't you early vote?" "Oh, I like to go on election day." I said, "Bro, one time. I just want to do it for years, one time." You know, and he ain't never been back to vote at polls. They always do early voting, because when you go early vote, anywhere that you were supposed to be is right there at that one place. You know, and it don't take long. You know, Pat Lewis got the early voting at the King Center. When it was downtown, you had parking problem, you had going upstairs problem, you had overcrowdedness problem. You have none of that no more.
And while I'm on here, I want to address this too. Youngsters, if y'all on here, and I'll be on Facebook, they're telling me we're on a whole bunch of stuff. Get out there and vote. Your vote matters. I'm going to be pushing for them youngsters to be out there, okay?
Yeah.
LGBT, I have a lot of followers. I respect them and they respect me. They love me. The announcement that I'm going to make at 12 tomorrow night, that's why I'm asking everybody that's running for something, you would want to be there Saturday to show your face.
Yeah.
I need y'all out there. I need y'all out there. I need y'all out there voting. I need y'all to make y'all voice matters, okay? We have a lot of, and this is all race, I don't care what color you is. We have a lot of people out here that's convicted felonies. That's okay. But all I'm going to ask you, I need you to be out there this year holding a sign, or if you have a vehicle, pick somebody up that can vote and make sure they get to that poll. Make sure they get to that poll.
Yeah, well, even though they're a convicted felon, if they're not on parole, probation, or anything like this here, they could go to their parole officer and get a statement saying that you're no longer on parole or probation, and you could go down to the voter registration office and register to vote.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of our people don't know that. Don't know that.
Yeah, and I pushed that, you know. When I took a guy one time, he said, "Man, I've been trying to vote for years, you know." He said, "I don't want to hear your garbage." I said, "Get in my truck, let's go."
We have something else that I wanna address. Everybody know her as Black. Yolanda, she has the Juneteenth. I don't have all her information with me, but she has that coming up, Father's Day at the Martin Luther King Center. I'm asking, and I know that's something she didn't speak on, but if you could get with her, if you sell life insurance, if you could get with her and try to set up a table or a booth or have your cards out there and see about giving our people a card or signing our people up for a policy. That would be something that would educational and just, you know, we need it. That's what I'm going to say. We need it. Yeah. You want to put it in a person's face. That way they can't say that they didn't know or something wasn't offered to them. Yeah, so that's just, you know, little things I want to point on.
A lot of times in the past we didn't know. But it's no excuse now why we don't know, because it's
Exactly.
all out here.
Yeah,
It's all out
exactly,
here.
exactly.
Here you is talking about it, I talks about it, Brother Jay have a open line program, they talks about it, they have people on talking about it. When Ms. Janelle, bless her soul, she used to try to get people to get life insurance. She would have people come in the station and set up insurance policy and things like this. It's no excuse no more. You know, we could look for excuse,
Mhm.
but it's hard to find an excuse right now
Yeah.
because there's too many. They advertise it on TV. What that is? That $9.95 a month, the
Mhm.
3 Ps, $9.95 price.
Mhm.
You know, insurance is not that expensive.
It's not.
You know,
You could upgrade every year. You know, if you get income tax every year, you could take some money out of that and pay for the whole year.
mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't see it that way. You could pay that for the whole year. Is that cheap as far as insurance? You know, a lot of people don't understand. You get insurance for yourself, and this is with every insurance company. Any child that's under 25 could come in on a rider.
Mm-hmm.
Your children could come in on a rider. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Darlene, we got a couple of minutes left.
I enjoyed it. I want everybody to come out, LGBT, Brown Park. The doors open at 9, 2 o'clock. I have security inside and out. The only thing that I'm going to ask, do not park in the neighborhoods. We have to respect people around there. The apartment complex on the side, do not park there. The park will be closed, so you can't park there. Parks and Recreation gave me the permission. You can park in the park because the park is going to be closed as far as to the public. So come out, enjoy, meet and greet people. We're just trying to keep it where next year, I know for sure next year, I'm going to have to move this at another place because this one here, they're going to talk about it till Christmas.
Good.
Okay.
And that's what makes it good. You know, I don't have a habit of going out, but I'm gonna make sure I
wanna
get to
see
this
you.
one.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure
Yes.
I get to this one because I'm a people person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to be mad at nobody. I don't like people being mad at me, but if you're mad at me, I find out why you're mad at me. You're only mad at me because you find out God loves
Love you.
And I love that, you know. I'm not gonna put no pressure on my heart because I don't want to take a high blood pressure pill.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go and find some old person, you know, to tell me what they used to do and how they used to do it. Cause I remember your grandmother was on 22 bottles of medicine. She went in the hospital one time and I told her doctor, say, doctor, you gotta find out what's going on. I could never control her sugar. You know, when she got out of the hospital, she had 4 bottles of medicine that I agreed that she'll take. I had a blood pressure, sugar under control.
A lot of that stuff, it helped one thing but hurt another.
Another.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we thank y'all for
Thank
allowing
you.
us to come into your home. I want to thank my niece Darlene for coming in
Appreciate it.
sit down with me and have a conversation and get some of the things off her chest because she helped me get some of the things off my chest. So with that, don't forget, People Talking Tech Show tomorrow, 9 o'clock, 88.3. June Andrews Show, 1 o'clock.
Today.
88.3 today. It's Friday. I want to thank y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay blessed. Keep y'all spirit ignited.
Nice. I gotta come back.
Oh yeah.
I gotta come back.
Oh yeah.
Gotta come back real nice.
You enjoyed the